The scene opens on Mount Meru's magnificent apparition, where old Rulai, the ancient and supremely powerful leader of Great Thunderclap Monastery, sits in contemplation. A bodhisattva approaches with a critical question. Why didn't they seize the opportunity when Eternal Peace Imperial Preceptor was supposedly injured? Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Verse Hubs channel, and this is full breakdown and explanation of the upcoming episode 67 from Tales of Herding. God's old Rulai's response cuts through all assumptions with devastating simplicity. Is it real or fake? The bodhisattva can only admit he doesn't know. What old Rulai reveals next sends shockwaves through everyone present. Those who believed Imperial Preceptor was injured have already lost, and some even died for that belief. His words turn to Teacher Poor and the other legendary warriors, and the truth becomes clear. It was precisely because they believed he was injured that their defeat became inevitable. Spiritual Master Dao Quan feels the weight of blame settling on his shoulders. From examining the medicinal dregs used to treat Imperial Preceptor, he had deduced severe injuries. Everyone believed his expert analysis, which led them to choose direct confrontation, the martial way. But here's where the deception becomes truly magnificent. The surprise attack by three legendary figures, Teacher Poor, Wanderer Li, and True Lord Tian, absolutely should have resulted in catastrophic injuries. These were peak existences whose abilities stood at the absolute pinnacle of the martial world. The evidence supporting his injury seemed overwhelming. Imperial Preceptor only lectured for 2 days at Imperial College, with perfume covering the supposed wound stench. The Dragon King of Dragon Rider sect visited his manor at night and left unharmed, something impossible if Imperial Preceptor were at full strength. His battle with Wanderer Zhen showed visible injury relapse, forcing him to rely on Qin Mu's medical care day and night. All signs indicated at least a month of recovery time would be needed. But old Rulai sees through the entire construction. From the very moment of that ambush, they were being manipulated like puppets on invisible strings. The two strategic choices they believed they were weighing, political maneuvering versus martial confrontation, were never real options at all. There was only one path, and Imperial Preceptor ensured they would walk it exactly as planned. Old Rulai's assessment carries profound respect mixed with wariness. Dealing with a genius that appears once every 500 years is no simple matter. Those 500 years don't merely represent wisdom and aptitude. They encompass strategies operating on a level most people cannot perceive. Such a genius will either become a saint who elevates the world or a lawless devil who brings catastrophe. Then old Rulai speaks a single word, fool. Beggar Sect Master Chi Dayu mentions that Imperial Preceptor has allied with Heavenly Devil Cult, but they still don't know the new cult master's identity. Old Rulai's smile broadens as he reveals another truth. The new cult master is none other than the young man who returned his greeting, Qin Mu himself. The revelation stuns everyone. Old Rulai had hoped to bring Qin Mu to Great Thunderclap Monastery, but that destiny was severed, and he was just one step too late. Meanwhile, Duke Wei stands watching a headless body being placed into a coffin. He questions Imperial Preceptor about Mount Meru's appearance, seeing clearly that old Rulai came to rescue Teacher Poor and strengthen Great Thunderclap Monastery's power. Imperial Preceptor responds calmly. Teacher Poor and the others have only 10 to 20 years left, making them short-term concerns. He claims he's injured and lacks strength to prevent old Rulai's intervention. Duke Wei's reaction is priceless. He sizes up Imperial Preceptor with open suspicion, his expression twisted with incredulity. Real or fake, he demands. Imperial Preceptor insists with absolute solemnity that his injuries are genuine. Duke Wei presses harder. Are you sure? Imperial Preceptor's frustration shows as he scowls. Of course it's real. He fought cult master-level existences, including 3 godlike beings. How could anyone emerge from such a death battle unscathed? Duke Wei's response perfectly captures the impossible position Imperial Preceptor has created. I don't believe. I'd be a fool to do so. I won't believe a word you say. Those that believed you are all lying in coffins, unable to move an inch. Imperial Preceptor protests weakly that he's actually quite truthful sometimes, but Duke Wei has heard enough lies wrapped in truth. That's precisely why Imperial Preceptor tricks others so convincingly. The conversation darkens as Duke Wei looks at the coffin. When they return to the capital, it will become obvious which old prince has suddenly died. Hibi Wehidime then lowers his voice with a dangerous suggestion. What if the old Empress Dowager reacts similarly to the Ling family conflict? Duke Wei believes Imperial Preceptor should simply become Emperor himself. The murderous intent flashing in Imperial Preceptor's eyes makes Duke Wei jump in shock. After more than 200 years of friendship, he hurriedly explains this isn't his idea. It's what all the old brothers following Imperial Preceptor are thinking. The problem is mathematical. Imperial Preceptor's position has reached maximum height. Even after quelling this rebellion, there's no way to reward him further. What could the Emperor give him? The throne itself? Imperial Preceptor firmly states that he and the Emperor are bosom buddies. The Emperor knows he won't ask for credit because what he truly wants cannot be found in official positions. He seeks to achieve the aspiration of his lifetime. Duke Wei argues that the current Emperor may understand Imperial Preceptor, but what about the Crown Prince? The real danger lies with Imperial Preceptor's followers, who see his path to the throne as their own path to power. The Empress Dowager's worry isn't about Imperial Preceptor himself. It's about those ambitious people beneath him. Imperial Preceptor cuts off the conversation with calm finality. He seeks his own path, and Duke Wei need say nothing further. He simply wants to find his little divine physician to treat these injuries, which may or may not be real. Qin Mu descends the mountain with the dragon, Qilin, and others. At the mountain base, they encounter Eternal Peace Imperial Preceptor. "I'm injured," he announces with complete seriousness. The dragon Qilin tries desperately to stifle its laughter. Imperial Preceptor's sharp glance silences the beast. His complexion appears notably pale as he repeats his claim. Qin Mu regards him with open suspicion. Real or fake? Imperial Preceptor's face grows paler. It's real. Qin Mu presses. You serious? Veins pop out on Imperial Preceptor's forehead. It's true. Qin Mu finally relents. All right then. With Daxiang City razed to the ground, they travel to Hidden Fog City. In a governmental office, Qin Mu examines Imperial Preceptor and discovers something genuinely surprising. More than 100 distinct wounds scattered across his body. Most are internal injuries, with venomous insects invading his system and damage to his divine treasures. The injuries affecting the Spirit Embryo Divine Treasure, 5 Elements Divine Treasure, 6 Directions Divine Treasure, 7 Stars Divine Treasure, Celestial Being, Divine Treasure, Life and Death Divine Treasure, and Divine Bridge Divine Treasure are abnormally complex. The soul injuries present entirely different challenges. This represents a rare opportunity for Qin Mu to learn about Divine Treasure secrets in unprecedented depth. Nursing these injuries will be enormous work. Qin Mu orders a huge pot filled with water and herbs, places a steamer inside, and has Imperial Preceptor lie naked inside while hundreds of hollow needles pierce his body, drawing medicinal energy directly into his divine treasures. As Imperial Preceptor lies in the steamer, he suddenly asks, "If the Emperor rewards me with beautiful women in gold, should I want them?" Qin Mu asks what else the Emperor could give. Imperial Preceptor admits, "There's nothing else." Qin Mu's response is practical. "Then you should take them." Their conversation reveals Imperial Preceptor's ascetic lifestyle. Just a few servants, living only on his monthly salary, with no family because, with heaven's law in one's heart, what's the need for desire? Qin Mu suggests he should start a family. Half a month passes as they travel toward the capital, passing through 15 cities. Despite searching everywhere, Qin Mu cannot find all the precious spirit herbs required, though he manages to address most injuries using substitution techniques. Upon reaching the capital, white lanterns and banners hang on numerous streets. They learn that North Garrison King Ling Yinfeng, the younger brother of the former emperor, affectionately called 8 Imperial Uncle, has passed away. He was deeply respected for his outstanding military service, having conquered numerous countries and saved the former emperor's life multiple times. His support was crucial in Emperor Yanfeng's ascension. When Qin Mu hears this, he glances at Imperial Preceptor, who reveals a genuinely mournful expression. "I'll be offering my condolences to North Garrison King's manor." Qin Mu asks in a low voice, "Imperial Preceptor, Why did North Garrison King rebel? Imperial Preceptor's soft response reveals the complex truth. He's not rebelling against the Emperor. He's rebelling against me for the empire of his Ling family. My power is too great, making him feel uneasy. He thinks I will overturn the rule of Ling family. Then he says something shocking. You're right, it's time for me to start my family. Even with heaven's law in my heart, desires are still needed. Imperial Preceptor announces he'll change into mourning robes to pay respects. North Garrison King had contributed tremendously to the empire, and even though he didn't agree with my way of handling things, he was still a person deserving respect. He bids Qin Mu farewell, explaining that now in the capital, Qin Mu won't need to continue treating him since he has a divine physician at his manor. When Imperial Preceptor returns to his manor, paranoid caution takes over. He doesn't use the main door, but jumps directly over the walls, checking that all protective seals remain intact. Yet something feels wrong. He calls out, "Old Fu, Yuan King?" Silence answers. Imperial Preceptor's manor is never this quiet. In the main hall, he finds all his servants and bodyguards tied up and piled together. Little poison King Fu Yuan King hangs naked from the ceiling, his tongue pulled out with a golden rope tied around it. A massive iron weight hangs from the rope's other end. Imperial Preceptor's sword light flashes, cutting Fu Yuan King down. He discovers all of Fu Yuan King's cultivation, and divine treasures have been sealed completely. After freeing everyone, Imperial Preceptor demands answers. Fu Yuan King admits shamefully, "I didn't see anything before I got hung up there. I didn't see anything even when my tongue was pulled out." The servants suggest the manor might be haunted. Imperial Preceptor understands immediately. It's not a ghost. That person's speed was too fast for you to see. I know who this is. He came to take back his leg. My treasury should also be emptied. At the treasury, the protective seal remains perfectly intact. Fu Yuan King smiles with relief, but Imperial Preceptor sighs. A phantom has no form. He can pass through the seal without touching it. The treasury is indeed emptied. Opening the door reveals the room absolutely empty, cleaned completely. On the wall where a valuable painting once hung, crude scribbles mock him. Imperial Preceptor, I took back my leg. Thanks for your treasures as well. Your servants were treated quite well by me. Oh, I also slept on your bed, and after I woke up, I took a dump on it. I even made a pot of fragrant tea for you in your study room. Our grudges are thus cleared, but you don't need to thank me. Imperial Preceptor's expression darkens murderously. He rushes to his bedroom. The overwhelming stink confirms the message was an exaggeration. Old Fu, throw it away, throw it away. The bed itself must go. In his study, the yellowish liquid in the teapot is very clearly not tea. His sleeves sweep everything out the window, shattering against the ground. Disgraceful. Never mind him taking his leg back, but to eat, sleep, and poop in my manor to spoil my peace. Old Fu, prepare another tea set in bed. Old Fu hesitates. Old Master, there isn't much money left. Imperial Preceptor is stunned. Old Fu explains the depressing reality. Most of the salary was taken on the trip, the rest used for mandatory gifts to nobles and ministers. The Empress Dowager even disdained their birthday gift as unpresentable. With North Garrison King's death, more gifts are needed. Imperial Preceptor asks about pawning items, but looking around his sparse manor, there's nothing valuable. He always believed material possessions prevent genuine progress. His weird collections, Cripple's leg, the valuable painting, were stolen by the phantom thief. Suggestions to request salary advances or borrow from acquaintances are shot down. Imperial Preceptor considers selling his paintings, but Old Fu delivers the harsh truth. The capital is filled with starving famous scholars selling artwork. Without Imperial Preceptor's signature, it won't sell, but signing it would constitute accepting bribes. Old Fu suggests borrowing from Imperial Preceptor's disciples, but he refuses to lower himself. Then he brightens. I know who has money I can borrow. He's liberal with his money and would usually pay when buying herbs for me. Otherwise, with that salary of mine, it would have been long gone. He's also not in the imperial court, so it's not embarrassing to borrow from him. When Qin Mu returns to Scholar's residence at Imperial College, he immediately notices medicinal fragrance filling his courtyard. This bewilders him. With capable odd-job workers guarding the residence, almost no one should be able to sneak inside. He finds huge bags of herbs piled in his courtyard, along with an extraordinary medicinal furnace and cauldron with precious markings. Inside the cauldron lies a leg. Inside the furnace lies an arm. Qin Mu recognizes these limbs immediately. He tells Hulinger and the dragon, Qilin, stay guard outside and don't let anyone enter. As the dragon Qilin squeezes through the doorframes, Qin Mu notes the creature is getting fatter and will soon break his door. He pushes open the main room door to see two men sitting inside. Cripple has tidied himself. Glossy black hair, beard tied with golden thread, tastefully chosen clothes. Old Ma sits opposite in green clothing, one sleeve drooping empty, looking travel-worn with grizzled sideburns and messy hair. When they see Qin Mu, Cripple reveals a simple smile while Old Ma's cold face brightens. Grandpa Ma, Grandpa Cripple. Qin Mu feels moved, his eyes growing red. Are you two here to see me? No, Old Ma replies flatly. Qin Mu feels hurt. Cripple smiles. You're living more comfortably than us, so why would we come see you? You're just someone we picked up. Don't think too much. Qin Mu retorts angrily. You're clearly here to see me. Cripple shakes his head. I'm just here to have you reattach my leg. Can you help me see if it's still alive? I won't. Cripple flies into fury. You rascal, turning independent? We're certainly not here to see you. Old Ma coughs. If you're not here to see him, why didn't you bring your leg to apothecary instead? Stop teasing him. Look at him. He's about to cry. I'm not crying, Qin Mu protests. All right, stop crying. I'm here to see you. Cripple relents. I just returned from Imperial Preceptor's manor, having stayed there quite some time. I also took some items. Do you see that leg in the cauldron? My leg. I took it back from Imperial Preceptor's manor, and he could only watch helplessly. Qin Mu stays quiet for a moment before letting out a warm smile. Grandpa Cripple, Imperial Preceptor, and I just came back. So what Imperial Preceptor was there in the manor? Cripple stares at him, and Qin Mu stares right back. The smiles on their faces are similarly warm, giving the impression they could be trusted even after being stabbed by them. The tension hangs in the air as these two master deceivers face off, each realizing the other has caught them in their schemes. That's all from me for this episode. The web of deception grows deeper as Imperial Preceptor's legendary cunning is matched only by the phantom thief's audacity, while Qin Mu finds himself caught between two worlds, the political intrigue of the empire and the chaotic love of his unusual family. What will happen when Imperial Preceptor discovers his empty manor was looted while he was actually present in the capital? How will Cripple and Old Ma's arrival change the dynamics at Imperial College?